Harley gray case paint and aluminum engine cases. They look great. You're out there in the sun. There's eagles and there's freedom, and you're feeling good because you're like, "God, my bike is so clean." And then you look and insert meme scream. Your bike's not really that clean. You go and you look at it real close, and there was a gas leak at one point, and your covers are water spotted, but you love having the blonde and the aluminum cases, and you're not going to go and do any like painting or chroming to it because, well, probably too lazy and cheap for all of that. So if you want to clean them all up and you want to look good, or at least like respectable, because they get old and they get like tarnished in weird spots, and the wheels do it too. I'll show you how to clean them up with some simple stuff that you got around the house before you like wash it and do all this other stuff and put degreaser on it and stain it more. Really, there's a couple things you can go and put on there and just kind of let go of all that older oil and older gas and everything that's in the way. It's really easy. It takes a lot of elbow grease. You're gonna have to earn it, but we'll make it happen. I'll show you how to do it. And why you want to do this before you wash your bike is because washing your bike's not going to get any of this off of there anyways. And I guess, like I said, all those acids and all that soap and everything isn't going to go and help this. You're going to need to actually go and like put something in between the air fins and agitate that sort of like grit that's in there and that stain to get it going. You need like a little bit of detergent, and I'm really surprised that I'm going to go and say it, but WD-40 works really, really good for getting the stains out of all of this stuff. And we're not polishing or anything right now. A couple places here started already a little bit. You can see not as tarnished up top on the cylinder head, and still pretty tarnished down on the cylinder. And the rear cylinder head is still pretty grody. Just kind of got like a film of schmutz and dirt and grit all over it. When you go and polish, I've got this stuff, polishing paste, semi-chrome polishing paste. I've had this for forever and a day. You can probably get it at any power sports place or whatever. Made in Germany. Didn't know that, but either or. It's it looks like toothpaste when it comes out. Don't get it in your eyes. Anyhow, so yeah, spray a little bit of the stuff on there. Not like a lot. You can spray it onto the rag, but we'll go and give her a little pre-soak and have some hot water in a bottle, just hot water, and we'll go and rinse it off when we're done with it, and we'll go and see how it looks, especially like the edges of the air fin. I'll show you a trick. At the end, we'll go and really kind of scrub on it with some 4-0, as many zeros as you can get. Steel wool, only 4-0, because it's really light. And I would be doing this, gosh, out in the driveway. I'm going to make a mess in the garage, on the floor. I'm doing this so I can show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just getting a little bit up in there. And see, it's going to start to drip. I don't need really too much of a mess, so we're not going to go and put that much on there. Some spritz, help loosen up all that to give it some sort of lubricant while we're scrubbing on it with our secret tool that I haven't revealed yet. People are going to go and scratch their heads or crucify me for what I'm about to go and do. This is really what I've done for years. Especially when you go and get an old bike and you want to clean things up. You would be surprised how much WD-40 is going to let go of a lot of that grit and grime, and it's going to let the oils or the lubricants, if you went and put any lubricants on things like your linkages, or you've got dielectric grease on your spark plug boots, or your choke cables or anything that I just went and sprayed here, it's not going to hurt any of your lubricants. And if you haven't guessed it, I'm going to do the big reveal on my cleaning apparatus. It is a flathead screwdriver. Usually something that's got a round shank to it. I've got my old snap-on trusty flathead screwdriver here. And a blue shop towel. Gonna sound really archaic, but you don't need to spend a bunch of money to clean up your bike. And in this case, you're gonna want to just give the screwdriver something to kind of have padding around it. Not a lot. You're gonna go through some shop towels, get them on sale, but sort of make like a little sponge on the end of it, just enough to where you can get it in between the air fins, and you're gonna pick up a lot of grit and grime. I mean, think about all the bugs. Think about all the, rain, sand, and all that gets kicked up in there that you can't really go and get out with your fingies. You can't really get out with this fancy brush that they sold you at the dealership. And I've never really found something else besides like some old things. They were called pimp sticks, I believe. You can probably still find them. They were like plastic tips, little deals like this. And they were pretty good. So once you got to a stopping point with, your whole scrubbing of your air fins, and you want to move on to some more torture with semi-chrome, you're going to take this sucker. And sometimes I'll just go in, especially when the cases are really dried out, I'll go and put some on there just directly, because you'll see like water lines on these cases. A little bit of water staining. Now I'll go and polish these down now to where the little bit that I do get on there, it's going to turn black. And you don't need a special tool. You just need some time to go and do this. And you can rub it and pull it off right now, but it hasn't really finished until it has turned like that black on the case. If you keep up on it and you don't let them get all grimy and stained with a lot, they come clean a lot easier. I've been kind of working on these ones. They don't really look that bad. Oh, watch your seat. And yeah, it'll come off black. And that's good. That means that all of that is coming out of the aluminum. All that oxidation and things is going to come off. And usually I'll just use a blue shop towel at this point, because whatever you use to go on and put this semi-chrome polish on is going to get, it's going to get pretty well ruined. You can see starting to get a little bit of that black rose up on the aluminum there. Definitely got my rag is turning black for sure. But that's not bad. Once you start to get it kind of like pushed into the towel, it doesn't get on your fingers. You know what I mean? You can just go and keep it on the one side. And man, a lot of work. You're gonna end up going around the whole bike. And some people use, like I was showing you, with a screwdriver and a rag. There's other different little tools you can go and use. I'll go and stop by, kind of out in the garage, and I'm killing some time, and I want to go and listen to some music out here, hang out for a little bit, and we'll go and do a little bit of the engine at a time. Probably not going to go over to the high side after I do the primary and do these rockers up here. Ugh. Yeah, look at how dirty the rocker looks next to this petcock. Dirty. So I'll try and go and clean up this side here, this side of the rockers here, and we'll go and show you guys what everything looks like once we're done. So okay, now that you've got it all cleaned up, you know, as much as you can, which the WD-40 kind of does. It does go and brighten up the cases there. I mean, looks better. Got quite a bit more more of the stuff off of it that I didn't think really was going to come off. And obviously do this when it's cold. I didn't think anybody was going to go and do this when it's hot, but you know, do this when your engine's cold. And now that you went and got way dirtier than you thought you were going to go and get, you know, before the wife wanted you to go out somewhere or something, we're going to get way dirtier now. Okay? And I've already started a little bit. You're going to go and start scrubbing away on these air fins out here where it's not painted. Gently, you know, at first there until you go and feel it start to get smooth. When it gets smooth, you can really kind of hit it up. But it's giving you a little sound clip. That's about how hard you want to really go and do it. But it'll help go and bring up all those stains out of the aluminum and things there. You might have to go down really, really far. I had one of the younger guys that I work with the other day who asked me actually a really good question. Why don't Harleys have radiators? Well, Harley Davidsons in this case. And that, I thought, you know, after I'd, you know, let them know my quick little antidotes that I always go and give people or anything like that, I thought it was a really good question. A lot of the newer bikes that they do have, even the later model twin cams from like 2017, 2016, I think it was 2014, when they first started going and putting radiators on the sides of the fairings and things would be right here, but they were hidden inside of the leg fairings to where you didn't really see them because they were really upset that people were going to go and think that Harley gave up putting radiators on their bikes. Or I should say they gave up by putting radiators on their bikes. But yeah, long story short, they don't need them. They're pretty simple, and they've got a lot of air fins. And being that it's a V-twin, got divorced engine cases. There's a lot of things going on that where you would not have a lot of room for coolant. And in this case, the fellow that was asking me about it, the way that he was referring to motorcycles having coolant would be like, you know, having a coolant jacket that goes down the cylinders instead of having air fins. And to have a coolant jacket on this V-twin would make the cylinders bigger. It'd be a lot more to have to try and get done as far as real estate with the cooling system on the front of the bike. And they've always been air cooled. They're VR1000 maybe, or maybe an 1125R from Buell. Those were water cooled and they had water jackets. But the newer ones, even now, they have like a superficial sort of cooling system that goes through the exhaust valve, and it doesn't really have a water jacket in it. The center cooled models share like a radiator and a oil cooler kind of all in one, and it's not bad. I don't want to say superficial like it's bad, but there is a cooling system on it. It's just not a cooling system in the sense of like what people would go and think in an automotive style application, to where like, there's no coolant jacket, like I was saying. There's none of that. It just doesn't happen. That V-twin silhouette that you get out of the bike is not going to get changed. They're not going to get rid of that. And if you put a coolant jacket on it, it's probably going to go and change the way the V looks, and it's probably going to make things a lot different. So I don't really necessarily, you know, it ain't hurting my feelings that they don't have coolant jackets on there, but a lot of these older ones, no, nobody cared. It was kind of a pride thing. So there's a quick rendition. You can see a couple of spots there, and a couple of fins. You gotta go back through there. But a lot cleaner than what it was, yeah? I mean, look at that. You can see in the reflection there. And like, not bad. I mean, this one's got some pretty good spots in it there to where I'm gonna have to go over that, you know, a couple more times. But I mean, it's a work in progress kind of thing when you go and try to clean it up real gentle like this. You can see a little bit there where the, I guess the stain was. A little bit there where the stain was. But a lot brighter. The cylinder head bolts will come up, you know, a little bit better too once you start going and getting like a little more solvent on there. It'll go and look a lot better. And the case down here, ka-chow, you know, this one always looks like a lot better after you go and do it. I got some water spots on it because I went and rinsed it off with water to get all, you know, get your polish out of your bolt holes and stuff. You know, everybody sees that. So yeah, this project can take like a long time. I made a pretty good, you know, dent in the dirt that was on the wrong side, but it was on the low side here. But I'm gonna go out and go ride. I'm not fooling around with this thing for forever. I did like 4 or 5 towels worth, and I mangled my steel wool. So I mean, that's good enough for me for now. Got a bunch of dust all over it and everything too. Like I said, do this before you wash it, because it's gonna get it really dirty when you do this. Don't wash the bike first and then do this. And then after, you know, you wash the bike and everything's dried up, then go for a ride. Of course, sirens. On that note, yeah, go for a ride. Don't do this unless you're planning on sitting down for the whole day and doing everything. Or just do like the one side where you saw it was real dirty and then skip out and go for a bike ride. Otherwise, let me know if there's a better way to do it. I'll try it. Or let me know if you did this and it worked for you. Thanks.